How's it going? I'm Jesse from Solpre, and I want to chat about something I didn't even know was controversial until a customer brought it up to me. Are washcloths disgusting? This whole conversation actually took me by surprise. So the backstory here is the bar soap that we make is super fatted, meaning that we add more oils in it than the lye can react with, and this helps your skin retain moisture when you use our soap. Soap aside, this particular customer had mentioned how the soap was actually being run through in about a week for him. Well, it's because he wasn't using a washcloth, and we always recommend that because we make a specialty soap that is more susceptible to water because of that super fatting. So as I made this recommendation to this customer, he actually told me he thought washcloths were disgusting and unsanitary, which frankly took me by surprise. I really just didn't understand. I'd always kind of taken it for granted that I personally use them and I don't think they're disgusting. But as I dug deeper into the problem, I actually understood what he was talking about. Apparently, and this was news to me, some people will actually use the same washcloth for weeks on end. They'll use it, hang it up in the shower, wet, leave it there, and continue to use it over and over and over. And I will actually agree with him. This does fall in the realm of gross. What's happening here is if you leave a wet washcloth in the shower, you're actually taking a wet piece of cloth, leaving it in a damp environment for weeks on end, where you normally are trying to get rid of all the dirt and grime for yourself and wash it away. Some of that gets left behind, which is why you have to wash your bathroom. And consequently, it can grow on the washcloth. That's where the unsanitary and kind of gross aspect of a washcloth can come in. And so if you leave it there, you can spend more time trying to wash yourself, but in actuality, you're spreading more fungus and bacteria all over yourself than you are actually cleaning yourself. If you know anything about skin, or if you simply have common sense, you know it's probably not a strong move to just wipe fungus and bacteria all over your skin. That's why we actually make a naturally antifungal soap bar for athletes, because it's a big problem in those kind of environments, like at the gym or when you have skin contact with other athletes, martial artists and football players, etc. My personal methodology is use a washcloth once, hang it up to dry, throw it in the hamper to get washed. You can still make the case for potentially being able to grow fungus or bacteria, but I actually have already solved that problem. When you're putting it in to wash, you put it in with something that's going to use bleach. We have white washcloths, so the bleach is going to kill anything that's on it. There's actually color safe bleach as well if you want to have fancier washcloths. And if bleach is not going to kill anything that's on your washcloth, you've got larger problems than worrying about whether a washcloth is sanitary or not. This whole thing actually led me to an interesting thought experiment. I was kind of wondering, how do we maximize our dollars as consumers when we're using a soap product? So, my customer I was talking to didn't want to use washcloths, but my recommendation was to use it to make our bar soap last as long as it should. So what if we thought about what's the cost of a bar soap if we use it just directly on our skin versus using it with a washcloth? And to make it a little bit more interesting, we're going to say we're going to buy a washcloth and throw it out every single time we use it just to avoid it being unsanitary at all. Currently, our soap for athletes, a single bar is $7. Most people buy 2-packs or 6-packs because it brings the cost down significantly. And if you use a bar directly on your skin, because it's that super fatted bar, it's only going to last about 7 days, which is way too short, but that's because it's susceptible to water. If you use it as directed, 20 days is about average. Some people get 30, but we're going to use 20 for this example. So if you're using the bar on your skin directly, no other instrument, no washcloth, no shower sponge, just bar on skin, that's it. 7 washes, you're going to use the bar in 1 week. That means you're spending about $1 per wash. Now here's where things get a little interesting. Again, we're pretending that we're going to throw out a washcloth every single time we use it. You can get a 24 pack of washcloths on Amazon from Amazon Basics for $14.99. If the bar soap lasts 20 uses, it's 35 cents a wash. And then the washcloth itself is going to be 62 cents a piece, meaning that if you throw out the washcloth every single time you use it, it's 97 cents per wash. It's actually cheaper to throw out a washcloth every single time than it is to use the bar soap directly on your skin. Now, of course, this is incredibly wasteful, but it illustrates my point a little bit. If you want to minimize the amount you're spending and maximize the usefulness of using a high quality product, then I'm always going to recommend using a washcloth. Wash them after you use them once, bleach them, use them again, but you're absolutely going to get better dollar per reuse when you maximize the use of your soap with a washcloth or a shower sponge, something like that. If you like this video, stay tuned for the next one. Don't forget to hit subscribe. I'll see you next time.